your St. Louis
Hockey Fan Report. That's right. Welcome to the Hockey Fan Report. I got a new little opening I'm going to try. So let's see if this works. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I screwed this up so bad today. Let me try it again in a new way. You're looking kind of lonely, pal. You like someone new to talk to. Oh yeah, all right. I'm kind of missing hockey too, and if you don't mind, can I sit here down beside you? Oh yeah, all right. And if I seem to come on too strong, I hope that you will understand. I say to know that I'm missing hockey as much, and if you are, as I'm talking hockey together, oh yeah, let's talk hockey together, oh yeah. Well, I hope that wasn't as bad as it sounded to my ears, but hey, Ashley, welcome. I love the look on your face.
I think you need quite a bit more practice, bud.
Yeah, but hey, it wasn't all that bad, but
I had to take off the headphones, man.
Say again?
I had to take off the headphones, man.
Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad. It was not that bad. And as you guys can see, I actually got my studio kind of set up today.
I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Well, hey, Ashley, welcome to the Fan Report. Let's talk. We got a lot to talk about, right?
Yes, we do.
And I want everyone to know, me and Ashley don't talk ahead of time. I just kind of come off the cuff, and I also look at what you guys want to talk about, right? What's on your mind? Right now, the Blackhawks are playing the Senators. This is two franchises that are really in a lot of disarray. The last I looked, I think Chicago was up 1-0. It's really interesting what's going on with these two franchises. You have Ottawa, who's really, since they've come into the league, they had a really small period where they were something, and they've gone downhill since. You have the Blackhawks, who are a very proud organization. I'm sorry, they've been owned by the Wirtz family from the beginning. They've had one owner. I'm pretty sure, if not one, maybe two, in their entire existence. Actually, no, the Wirtz have owned them since the 50s, so it's more than one, but it's not many, right? And to see what they're going through right now is really interesting. No, there's no game today, but you know what? The Fan Report isn't just Blues hockey, and that's something I want someone to get to start understanding. This isn't just about Blues hockey. Yeah, we do a Blues-based show, but we talk about all things hockey. And we're going to get back into that more. We got away from it because of the move that I was going through, and that had a lot to do with it. Okay, Wendy says they've had three owners. Three owners in what? They started in the 30s. Talking 80 years, 90 years almost. And this team's had three owners. That's something. That's saying something, right? I actually think they probably have had the least amount of owners of any of the original six, and I'm almost certain of any of the second six, right? And you know, I know we as Blackhawk fans really get on, or as Blues fans get on the Blackhawks. Okay, sorry. You knew what I was trying to say. Ashley,
I was reading
you
that.
look like you're at work in a call center.
Well, the boyfriend doesn't like walking past whenever we're doing a show, so now I have to face the opposite way.
Okay, no, I actually kind of like it, and we'll work. If you're gonna get you're gonna be the regular co-host, we're gonna try and work in getting you the green screen or something like that to help you out, and maybe get you a better microphone, and we'll figure out what we can do to help you out there. I got a little bit. Now, Brad Pond asked me a question right off the get, and he says, "Can you please hook your number one fan up with tickets when the Blues are in Montreal?" Dude, I can't even hook myself up with tickets when the Blues are in St. Louis. So, as much as I would love to do that, I have no connections whatsoever, and I just want you to know that. If I could, I would, bud. I just can't. You know, I don't have that. I like I said, we all know where how the Blues feel about me. Wendy asked, what did he come into? Well, Wendy, you came into the fan report where we just try and have a little bit of fun. You know, you look at Ashley's face, it tells you all of that. It looks pretty good like this. Oh, well, thank you. Wendy says they came in 1926. So like I said, 3 owners since 1926. You're looking at a team that's almost 100 years old, 95 years old, right? And this is their 96 season, 95th season, not counting the lockout season. With the lockout season in there, so you got to know what's going on. One of the things that came out yesterday. Okay, so I want everyone to understand something, and I'm not going to get political. The NHL has their COVID protocols, and they are what they are. The teams have their protocols. They are what they are. If you don't like them, there's absolutely nothing I can do about them, and I do not care about you not going to the game because you didn't get a shot. I'm just putting that out right here, right now. Whatever your political beliefs are, let them be. That's not what I care about. Wendy says the Blackhawks are up 2-0. All right. The other game that's going on right now is kind of a big one. Is Tampa Bay and the Caps. And the last I saw was that the Caps were up 1-0, I think it was. And,
yeah,
I mean,
that's what
I haven't looked
last.
here in a little bit. I kind of have something else pulled. I have my stats pulled up. I don't have the scores pulled up. Let's see if I can pull that up here real quick.
I'm pulling them up.
See if I can get to them. You know, we're all learning this. We're getting better as we go along. We got some good people watching this. Lightning are up 3-1. They got a hold of that one. And that's 13-24 in the third. The Lightning have finally come back. They're showing. See, the Lightning showing exactly what we talked about when it comes to early season fall-offs and early season success, right? So I guess Kane is back from his COVID because he scored the second power play goal of the game. Ryan Green asked, what are the player protocols anyways? You know what, Ryan, I kind of tried to look over it. The document is 30-something pages long. So I got to spend a little bit more time going over it. But once you have a positive test, you've got to go through protocols to get a certain amount of negative tests. And just because you get, say again?
It's 2 consecutive negative tests.
Well, actually, it depends on the type of negative test. You know what? Maybe for tomorrow's show, I'll pull that up. I say if I can pull that document up. And actually, maybe I'll try and do it here a little bit later. But that document kind of showed what, had a chart, flow chart about what happens when you have a positive test, how to get through it and all that. So it's just, Edmonton plays a little bit later. They play Seattle. Yeah, I don't think it'll be 5-2, but I think Seattle plays a good defense. They built a team with some pretty good defense. They haven't built a team with good offense. So they can stop the puck from going in. They just can't put the puck in themselves. Though Dunn is having a really good start to his season in Seattle. I guess Ashley agrees with me. I see the head.
I really haven't watched a whole lot of Seattle except for that Dunn did score the first Kraken goal in their stadium.
Their new building.
So. But yeah,
okay,
I'm not a huge Kraken fan.
So Joshua's, how do you think their temporary backup does? I'm hoping that Hoffer doesn't get in net.
That's where I'm at.
So to be honest with you, Hoffer did not impress me at all at the prospect tournament, or I seen that, or at, and that's actually pretty good. I like that.
Yeah,
Steven.
yeah,
that's
I did too.
Pretty good. That's Steven called it the crack house. I like it there, buddy. All I'm sure it's difficult to distinguish a player with a runny nose and a potential COVID case. Oh no. So if a player, first of all, they're tested daily. Okay, they are tested daily. They get the quick test daily. If they pop positive on the quick test, they have to get the full shot test before they're taken out. Right. So this isn't just a player having a runny nose. All of a sudden he's got COVID. It's not that. Right. They are being tested in a regular procedure. It is like that document was 30 something pages long. Let's see. I had it up here earlier. I don't think I have it on this one. Let me see if I can try this. Hold on a second, guys. Ashley, you talk while I'm trying to pull this up.
Yeah, Ryan, I think it probably does get really annoying for them to have to be tested daily. Chris Shockley, I also agree, but I'm not sure if I'm thinking the same goalie as you. I was kind of hoping they'd bring up Lindgren. Ellis would have been better than Hoffer, in my opinion, too, but Hoffer is that next guy, unfortunately. I'm hoping that in the back-to-back games, they will play Bennington back-to-back, but that's not very common anymore. But it's not unheard of, so that's kind of where I think they should do. And then there's also, just they haven't really announced with Husso if it's symptoms, if it's precautionary or what's going on. So we have no idea how long he's going to be out.
Well, since they haven't said it, I think it's not going to be the 10 games.
Yeah.
10 days, right? My guess is, since they haven't said that he's symptomatic, that he is asymptomatic. Because with O'Reilly, they said that he was symptomatic right off the get-go. Right? Yeah. And I'm trying to pull up, okay, if this works. So they have, let me see, my mouse is acting up on me again. I don't know why it's doing this, so give me a second. With my bad hand, I can't do other things that I'd like to do.
Okay. Sorry, man.
Oh, hey, you know what? You deal with it best you can, right there.
Yeah.
I go to the doctor, and this is why Thursday's show might be I might not be a pregame on Thursday. It might be just the intermissions. I have a doctor's appointment at 2:00 on my time, or 1:45. So I'm hoping I'm home by 3:30, but I may not be. Right. So we'll kind of see what happens there. And I'm trying to get this up, guys. Let's see if I can pull this in. There we go. Okay. So this is the asymptomatic. If you are not symptomatic, this is what you have to go through. I'm going to try and see if I can blow this up just a little bit for you. So guys, can you see that okay, Ashley?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so you have the initial positive, and when you get that, they isolate the player and begin the tracing. Then you get the conformatory test. This is on the same sample. So they go and they test it and see if it's confirmed positive. If it is confirmed positive, you isolate the player and contract trace, and you kind of go back, right? Then you have the second test at the 24 hours and a third test 24 hours later. That's a confirmed negative. You can exit isolation. The next one is the positive. This is where they are symptomatic. Point of care. Oh no, wait a minute. Okay, I bet they're both saying asymptomatic, but it looks like the same chart. I think this is the one where they are symptomatic. I think. At least that's what I'm seeing. No, it says the same thing, but it looks a little different here, or it looks the same. Note the lab-based PRC results from the swab taken the same day as it can come from one of two sources, and there you go. So and this is the document. I don't think this document is 27 pages long, guy. Right? And I've read some of it. I haven't read all of it. I admit that. I kind of went in and checked out the charts. I like the flow charts. They kind of give you an idea, but there's a lot of information in here. Maybe I'll have some time tomorrow morning to read it before tomorrow's show, and we can go over that a little bit. But that right there gives you an idea of what's there.
Yeah, that's a pretty extensive chart.
That they make it into a chart. Yeah, it is pretty tough. Yes, Lambert. He is in protocol, but I don't know which one. Stephen Glass says he doubts. I think Bennington's going to end up playing back to back, right? To be honest, okay, we've talked about it. Do we trust Husso or not Husso? Hoffer. And the biggest thing between you and me is no, we don't trust Hoffer.
No.
Right? We do not trust him at all. And because we don't trust Hoffer, that leads me to believe that Bennington is going to be in the net. And here's the other thing. This is what I would do. I'd play Bennington Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And then on Saturday, they play the Ducks. I would play Hoffer against the Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
Right, to give him that day of rest. But I originally thought, oh, it's the Sharks. The Sharks have had a good start to their season. They're 5-2, right? They're not a team that we need to take lightly.
Not at all.
Right? You could start now. Now Bennington's coming off a shutout. Mm-hmm. Actually, I mean, we're coming off basically, no, not 2 shutouts, but close to it. Right? A shutout, a loss, a shutout. But you have a team that is figuring its feet out. Right? The Blues. So one of the questions I ask is, who are your surprise teams, and who are the teams that we are what they thought they were? Right?
Yeah, I would definitely say that one of my surprise teams is Buffalo. Like, I didn't expect them to come out as well as they have. I mean, they're not, undefeated or anything, but they're playing a lot better than Buffalo has in several years. I also didn't expect Chicago to play this poorly. Teams that are right where I thought they would be, I'm sorry to say it, guys, Arizona.
Yeah, that's.
I don't see them doing any better than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Joshua says that they got a fluke start. Well, you know what, Joshua? To be honest, you can say the Blues got a fluke start.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you honestly can. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be a butthead here. I'm not trying to. I'm just. If you want to look at it honestly, you can honestly say that the Blues are one of those teams that got that fluke of a start, or that fake start. Mm-hmm. You know, they caught Colorado with a couple players out, including Nathan MacKinnon. Then they caught Vegas with a couple players out due to COVID and other injuries, right? Then they play Arizona, who is what everyone thought, and then the Kings, so they go 5-0. Well, that 5-0 could be miscued a little bit, but oh, by the way, did you share this in All Blues Everything?
No, I didn't, because I didn't know if you did.
Go ahead and share that one.
Okay,
go ahead.
I gotcha.
Right. But you also look at the other issue here is that, then they have Colorado come back with some pretty decent setup. Now you are surprised. You do have to go back and say, okay, well, the Blues were missing players. Well, so was Colorado, but they beat us better than the score shows. Okay. That score was 4-3. They beat us a lot better than 4-3. Right. They beat us with a 4-1 score. And that's how I feel. Right. Did the Blues fight back? Yes, they did. But I even heard it said we only played 20 minutes of a hockey game. Well, you're right. If you only played 20 minutes of a hockey game, you got really lucky to be able to have that score what it was. And you're gonna this is gonna make a lot of people. Bennington stood on his head that game, and even though he let in 2 weak ones, he's the only reason that game was 4-1 or 4-3, right? And not worse. So I will say that in that game, right? And you now and you got to admit, you know me, Ashley. Even after the game, I sat there and said I saw positives in this game.
Yes, you did.
So I'm not sitting there and saying that game was a negative. I'm just saying that the game was not as close as the score indicated.
Yeah. Well, I thought that we could have caught up in that game. That's where I think that the Blues can compete with Colorado is, yes, they only played 20 minutes of a hockey game, and they were this close to tying it in the end. This close. So I think that the Blues can beat Colorado.
Oh,
but we haven't played them. Like, first time we played them, they were in COVID and having issues. Second time we were, I think the third game we're going to find out which one is the better team.
Oh yeah, and well, especially since that's going to be at the end of the season, and you could be looking at two teams fighting for the division.
Exactly.
These two teams could be fighting for the division. I absolutely see this. So for me, the surprise teams right off the bat are Colorado and Montreal, and Vegas in the negative. Here's teams that I thought would be a lot better, but pulled it up, right? Are starting to pull it up, but it played really bad. Pardon me. I'm seeing your comments, so it's taking me off a little bit.
Me too.
Yeah, so that's. But then there's the teams that you go, who are the teams that they were who you thought they were? Well, right off the bat, Arizona. Even though I thought Arizona was going to be better, they end up being what everybody thought they would. But then again, you cannot rule out Carolina and Florida, right? Carolina 8-0. We're at the 10% mark, right? Most the teams have ranged between 10 and 7 games. 8.1 or 8.2 and a half, 8.25 is the midway point, right? That's the midway point. And if I got that right, yeah, that's the midway point. Or not midway point. That's the 10% point. 8.25 is the 10% point, and they are a lot of teams that are just kind of feeling their way. This is an important to me. The 10% is usually one of the most important things in the season. The 10%, the 50%, and the 70%. Those are the big ones to me, right? 10%, you really kind of get that feel of what teams are, who they are, and where they can go.
Yeah.
Right. And then you get some of those teams that are have really great starts that fail later. Brian Green says Buffalo started out like no one. Exactly. Right. They did. Buffalo is one of those surprise teams in a good way. The Blues, to me, are a surprise team in the good way. The Blues being
I put them number 1, so I mean they're not really surprising me.
But did you see them being 6-1?
I mean, yeah, I kind of did.
I saw them at best 500.
You see, I ranked them number 1 in the Central, so I'm going to say, yeah, I saw this.
Okay. Well, you got to remember, you look at those first 5 games, okay? You had Colorado, Arizona, Vegas, Kings. Okay. Colorado and Vegas being what they were, we'd almost put those down as losses. Arizona has played the Blues really, really good, and it's been tough against them. You almost put that as down as a loss. Then you look at Kings. The Kings last season gave the Blues fits.
Yeah, right? They did. But what I saw in the preseason, I still think that the Blues are going to be number 1 in the Central, and they're not doing anything I'm surprised by.
Okay, well, I give you that. I will say that I am slightly surprised. I could have seen them being 3-3 right now, or 3-1, something like that. To be 6-1, I'm really impressed. And actually,
too,
see, Joshua says the offense is stacked. We're actually number 2 in goals. No, actually, I think we're number 1 or 2 in goals for, and we're like number 4 in goals against.
Number 3 in goals against. We are number 30 or 29.
Actually, you got to flip that. If you look at it, that's going from low to high, and or from high to low, and that's actually a number that you want from low to high. Does that make sense? The number 1 team would letting in like 4.5, 5 goals, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that we're ranked number 29 because we're only letting in 2 point. I think it was 2.3.
Yeah, flip that. Let me pull something up real quick. I know what you're saying, Ashley, but I think I think you need to flip it. You need to reverse the standings because the lower number is better. Get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I'm just
okay. Hold on. Goals against per game. Flip it. The Blues are 6, 2.14.
Okay.
Right. Let me kind of bring this in and show you what I'm talking about here for a second. I like this. I like that we're getting to talk like this, and we're getting to learn together,
Yeah,
right?
it's fun. I'm really enjoying this.
Right, and I like you're starting to see the game the way I see the game. Well, you're starting to see how I see the game, right? So
Hmm.
Ashley, here's the stat sheet, right, from NHL.com.
Okay.
Let me make sure I pull it up. Here we go. Okay, so the way you had it was like this, right, where the Blues were down here at 27th.
Okay, I think I might have been looking at something else.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see if I'm trying to do it from my phone because my kid stole
Oh,
my other laptop.
oh
So
yeah. No problem. But if you see this, this here goals against per game, the high number is the bad number. So you want to. So what I do is I click up here and flip that. So it shows. So it puts us at 2.14 goals a game. Now where we are sitting really good is goals
Mhm.
for per game. We're number one in the league. So your number.
Yeah.
You look at this. You're the best team at scoring goals, and you're the sixth best at not giving them up. That's
Mhm.
a recipe for success,
Oh yeah.
right? And then the Carolina's 8-0, and they are the number 2 team at scoring goals, only a hundredth of a goal behind the Blues. Yet I think they're the number 1 team. Yeah, excuse me, the number 1 team, and not giving them up. That's why they're 8-0. Calgary 6-1-1, right? 6-1-1. They're second in not giving goals up. The teams that are not giving goals up are the Rangers 6-2-1. They're only scoring 2.5 goals a game, but they're only giving up 2.1.
Mhm.
This is, you want to know which teams are top in the league? Look right here, no further than goals against per game. Come down to the bottom of this. Arizona 4.22, 0-8, 0-8-1. The Blackhawks 0-7-2, 4.11. Red Wings, they're 4-3, and they're at 4-3-2. And if you look, they're scoring almost as many as they're giving up.
Mhm.
Right? The Canadians 2-8 and 2-8-0, and they're down. They're giving up almost 4 goals a game, 3.5 goals a game. So if you want to know where this to me is the more important thing to look at than even goals for. Because you look at goals for, you're going to find teams in here that are not the best teams
Mhm.
as you get closer to the middle of the pack. The Ducks right there.
Yeah.
The Ducks are 12th in scoring, but they're scoring 3 goals a game, but they're giving up 3.5.
Mhm.
3, 4, and 3. So you kind of see what I mean.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
you flip that, when you come back to here, the goals allowed, you're going to see that the teams that don't allow the goals are the teams with the better records. Dallas Stars. Now Dallas Stars kind of one of those teams that's right there. They're only allowing 2 and 3/4, but they're only scoring 1 3/4.
Mhm.
Right. So they do go hand in hand, but to me the more important one is the goals against per game.
Fair enough.
Right. And I was going through the stats. Let's see if anybody burned me or torched me.
No one torched you.
Huh?
No one torched you.
I did not expect 2 shutouts already the way the defense played last year. No, very true. Colorado won't be the same with their goaltender Kemper. Kemper's played better than I thought, but yeah, I know I said that right off the get-go.
So did I, but I moved them down because of it, and you kept them up.
Well, I kept him up more because of who they had around him,
Yeah.
right? But my issue with him, well, they're going to injure him. I'm almost certain of it.
Oh, they are. They
Right?
certainly are.
Show who is more knowledgeable about the Blues. Great job, Ashley. Ashley, you're amazing. We all knew that. Ryan, I agree. Kemper is not a great goalie. Well, I didn't think numbers-wise he is. You go back like 5-6 years, he's at the top of the charts.
Yeah, but he's
Numbers-wise,
gotten older, and as you age, you're not as quick.
yeah, that's true. Ryan says we are the best, but everyone should not be surprised if at some point the team doesn't score as many. Well, you're right. But right now, see, here's the one thing about the Blues. I only think the Blues are missing one thing. There's one thing that I think the Blues are missing, and if I had to trade, I would trade for this type of player, and we're missing Jamie Tartt. right? We're missing Jamie Tart.
I don't.
And
I don't really think we're missing that. I mean, it would
oh,
be
I
great
do.
for the locker room, but no, we don't need that.
Well,
I think Shen does a good enough job being that person.
but see, Shen, that's not Shen's job. Shen is supposed to put pucks in the net. Shen has transitioned into this. I actually think he's become a mediocre player trying to be a Jamie Tart, and it's hurting his game.
You see, but that's what you're asking for is a mediocre player. So
No. I'm not asking for a mediocre player. That's the exact opposite. Jamie Tart is not a mediocre player. He's a damn good player who knows who he's one of those players who's not humble. He's not humble. He goes out there, he puts it all on the line, and he says, I'm good. You can't stop me. Come and try. And he gets in your head. He's Tom Wilson. He's Tom Wilson. I will, and everybody here will go, oh my God, how can you say that? Nobody wants Tom Wilson on his team until he's on your team. When Tom Wilson's on your team, everybody wants him. Brad Marchand. Everybody wants Nobody wants to play Brad Marchand, but everyone wants Brad Marchand on their team. That's the type of player we don't have. Now, if Shen wants to be that type of player, great. Get your offense back up. Because that's where he's lacking. When he came to the Blues from Philadelphia, he came in here, he scored goals, he was great on the power play, and he was absolutely fantastic on the forecheck. Now, he has become more of a defender. He doesn't get the puck in the net, and his passing has fell off.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! I think I blew up Ashley. I think she's mad at me now.
I'm not mad. I'm looking up stats.
Okay. But this is my job, right?
Okay.
This is my
so far this season, he's played in 7 games. He has 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points, and is a +6.
And that's Shen.
I really don't. Yeah, that's Shen. I don't feel that is a mediocre player, and he's still going out there and being feisty.
Okay. Again, early. I'm basing a lot of this off of last season. Last season was not a good season for Shen.
Last season wasn't a good season for a lot of people.
That's true.
The whole NHL was kind of shooken up by it being a shortened season with the COVID. So I don't feel that it's fair to judge him off of last season. We got to look at the 10% that we've played now, and in that 10%, he's the Shen that I've always seen.
Okay, you know what? That is fair. I will give you that's fair. Let me check something out here real quick. Let me try something here real quick. I want to look at. Let's look at the Blues right now. Where let's go to skaters. And let's look at where everybody is on the Blues, right? And let's kind of get that understanding. So David Perron leads in points with 9. Well, he's tied in points with Tarasenko and Kyrou. Tarasenko is who we thought he was when everybody else said he wasn't. 4 goals, 5 assists. He is playing outstanding hockey. Yes. Kyrou, 2 goals, 7 assists. He's becoming more of a passer than a goal scorer. His speed, he's trying to use it, but everyone knows it, so they're clogging him up a little bit. But he's done well. Barbashev 3-3 for 6 points. I give Barbashev a B+ to an A- right now.
A-, he's the only one that's got a point in every game. Like literally.
No, he's gotten a point in every one but one. He didn't get a point in the last game.
I thought he did.
No, in the 1-0 shutout, he was not part of that. Tarasenko has had a point in every game.
Huh. I thought he had an assist. I thought it was from him and Tarasenko.
No, it was from Perron and Tarasenko, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was Perron and Tarasenko. I know he did not get a point in that last game. That's why he's only got 6 points.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's see. Thomas has got 6 assists. I'd like to see Thomas is passing the puck a lot. I'd like to see him shoot it a little more, and that was something that we kind of saw earlier this season, where he's passed off pucks he should have shot.
Yeah. But I
So
mean,
you
that's
have
how he's always been. He's always been a passer. I was saying the same thing about him the last 2 seasons.
so right now you have 4 players at a point per game.
Mhm.
That's impressive to me, right?
Yeah.
That's impressive to me when you've got 4 players that are a point per game. If that maintains, the Blues are going to have an outstanding season,
Yes, they are.
right? They're going to have an outstanding season. Shin is a Berube type of player. I'll agree with that. Marianne says he's taking a different role this year too. Possible, but it doesn't mean that. See, there's good things and there's bad things, and I've seen a lot of that. Right.
Mhm.
Right now, the Blues are in a good point in the schedule. They need. This is what last year they couldn't do. When they were in that weak part of the schedule and needed to get points, they didn't. We're in that point right now. The
Mhm.
toughest game we have coming up is Winnipeg, right? And that's the last game of this road trip. Then we
Yep.
have a game at home, and then we fly to Carolina before we come back home, right? That
Mhm.
Carolina game. So we've got like I don't remember exactly what the schedule is. I think I can pull it up here real quick. But so you've got the Kings, Sharks, back to back. Then on Saturday you play the Ducks. Then you go up on Monday or Tuesday, and you play Winnipeg in Winnipeg. So this is a road trip. I'm pulling up the schedule right now. So Wednesday the Kings, Thursday the Sharks. Sunday, actually, it's a Sunday matinee game, early game on Sunday. You play the Ducks in Anaheim. I'm trying to bring the schedule up for everybody. There we go. Okay, so there's a schedule for you guys all. Here we go. Okay, so then you have Anaheim. Then you have a really tough part of your schedule coming up, right? You have Winnipeg on Tuesday in Winnipeg. Come and face Nashville. Nashville's had a good start to their season. They're not the cupcake some people thought they were. Then you have Carolina, who has just been on fire. And in a back-to-back night, so you go to Carolina and then you turn around and come home the next day on a Sunday and play Edmonton, right? And then you have Arizona and San Jose, which is a little bit of a lightness. But the games that you need to win the next 3, in my eyes.
Mhm.
Because you're going to lose 2 of the next 4 after that.
I don't think they're going to lose 2 of the next 4. I think they'll lose one of them, but I don't think they're going to lose 2.
So you think so between Winnipeg, Nashville, Carolina, and the Oilers, what rank those from 1 to 4? 1 being the biggest chance to lose, the 4 being the least chance to lose.
I mean, Carolina is the game I think that we are going to lose. The Oilers, I think, will have something to, be angry about, and we'll come back and win that one. But I don't see any of the other ones being a loss.
Okay, so you're ranking. I would rank it. 1 would be Carolina, 2 would be the Oilers, 3 would be Nashville, 4 would be Winnipeg. No, actually, I got that backwards. 3 would be Winnipeg, 4 would be Nashville.
I'll agree with that. I don't see any of those other games being a loss other than Carolina.
Well, Winnipeg, remember now you've got their goalie Hellebuyck, right?
Yeah, I know Hellebuyck. We've played them. Hellebuyck is either really great or he's really bad.
Right. So if he's on, that could easily be a loss.
It could be, but I don't think it will be.
Nashville has a young goalie in Saros in that, and that's a home game. So I think that having that home game after but this schedule is kind of funky, and I'll say that in a nice way. But it's what we got, and the reason the schedule's the way it is because of the break, because of the Olympic break.
Yeah.
Right. Chris said Carolina, Oilers, Jets, Nashville, kind of where we go.
Yeah.
Mary says she thinks we're going 10 out of 12. I'd really like that. I would, but I'm cautioned. Soros played us well 2 years ago. Yeah, he has. But that I think, and he got some good experience in the playoffs. So we'll look and see what happens there. You know what, guys? Wow, we went 40 minutes and that went by quick.
Yeah, it did.
I do want to get back. I want to get into a little bit about what's going on in the league overall.
Okay.
Right. I don't know if you've seen it, but I have. And I wish I thought about it. Maybe I'll do it for tomorrow. The NHL has released a new commercial. This Hockey is for Everyone commercial. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay. Let me see if I can could find it. I don't know if it's available. I might not the easiest thing for me to do right now, but it's a decent commercial, but it goes on and it covers a lot of areas, and I don't remember it covering the homosexual side of it, or the of Hockey is for Everyone. They bring women hockey, they bring sled hockey, they bring African American or African, black, because you can't just say African American, because you have African Canadians too. They bring Native First Nations into it. But they're to me, they're missing one of the biggest points of it. This, and I'm not going to say it, John Doe issue. I almost said his name, and I said I wouldn't. I know his name's out there. I know he says he's okay with it. I don't think be honest.
Yeah,
I don't think he is.
Hey, Wendy. Hey, Wendy, he's back.
Yeah, I seen him. Right. Get points in every game, even if it's a loss. I would love that, Marianne. I would absolutely love that.
Me too.
Lightning win 3-2. Well, Chris, it was already 3-1 when you called it. So, I'm not gonna give you all your props on that one, buddy. Not when it was already 3-1. When that, you had a pretty good chance there calling that one. So, but what I'm trying to get, the Donjo situation that we have came about because of this culture of anti-homosexualism, right? Homophobia. And because it's one of those things that we want to keep in the dark. And when I say we, I mean society, right? We want to keep this in the dark, and we want to throw all this stuff at it, and we want to say it doesn't exist when it does. And the fact that we want to sit there and say it doesn't exist is why the John Doe situation happened, right? The NHL has got, and I know you're going to upset a lot of people. I get it, but I would rather them upset those people than have this issue happen again, because I guarantee you it's going to, if it hasn't already. That's my issue. This happened, and this is what everybody think about this. This happened 10 years ago. 10 years ago. You're telling me, how many of you believe that it hasn't happened to somebody else, by somebody else, in those 10 years? I guarantee you it has. This isn't going away. And that's the point of this that's not being talked about. It's absolutely not being talked about. And it needs to be. You can sit there and all day long say, oh, we don't go on, but you're not doing anything to prevent it. You're absolutely not doing anything to prevent it, because you haven't changed culture. And I'm trying not to get on a high horse here. I'm really not. But until we have an accepting culture, it's not going to change. And that's the part of this. You hear everybody talk about how and I can't even think the right words. I'm having trouble even coming over that. How disgusted they are about it happening and all that. You know what, Ashley? I'm sorry. This is something that has been talked about behind the scenes a little bit. I think now is a perfect time to bring it up. Wendy says the Blackhawks just released something on the case. We'll have to check that out later.
Yeah.
Hey, Wendy, we'll be on tomorrow. Maybe you can come on tomorrow with us and talk about this. John, good news. I am going to try and get the pick'em contest up tomorrow. I don't have any prizes. I'll be honest with you. I got no prizes. We're just going to do it to do it. Right?
Sounds like fun.
All right, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be fun. I can't handle. I don't have sponsors. I'm not working. I have surgery coming up. My internet guy has left me. I am by myself. I'm actually worried about losing the internet, so I'm looking for if anybody is out there is a internet guru. Not an internet. Can really work on websites and do all this. A webmaster, and you want to help me out and try and help get this back on. Let me know because I need some help to get it back I don't lose it.
I can learn. I can help.
Oh, actually, I need someone that really already knows this.
I've made a couple of websites before.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it because I'll explain my issues to you later. Right? We got a lot. Josh says joking. I'm gonna get you your Tumblr, Josh. Now that I'm settled, I'm working. I'm trying to get a hold of Mike. Mike got bammed with 9 orders for over 1,000 things each.
Oh wow!
So yeah, he got slammed. So that's what he's working on right now. But we are going to get you there, bud. We're going to get you, and I promise. And just please bear with me and don't get upset with me. I know there's you and 2 other people that are waiting for stuff still, and I really apologize. I got in over my head a little bit. I admit that. I'm trying to get it figured out and worked out. People who had said that they were going to help me didn't, and I counted on people that weren't there. So you just got to do what you can. But back to what I originally wanted to talk about. Something that has been talked behind the scenes, Ashley, and I think you know this, but you know where I'm about to go.
I think so.
How many times, Ashley, have you gone in a group, talked about hockey, and then had some guy message you and hit on you?
Oh, it happens all the time. All the time. I can share even this show. Before I was on it, I could share this show, and there would be guys hitting on me. I shared a hockey show.
You know what? And I admit that I am guilty of that. I admit it. I am very, very guilty of that. It is something that I have talked about off air with some people. I am no longer. I have understood how wrong it is. Mm-hmm. In fact, one of the groups that I'm kicked out of is because of that. Is absolutely because of that. And I'll even mention the group because they hold it over my head all the time. It's True Blue Nation, right? It has something to do with that. And that's why I got booted from that group. If you want to know why I'm not in that group, that's exactly why. And they hold it over my head all the time. All the time. Trust me, they hold it over my head. But and it's this culture that we have that creates this. And until we change the culture and we sit there, we can say hockey's for everyone, but we don't mean it. We absolutely don't mean it. Right? Because if we meant it, Ashley, you wouldn't have to worry about some guy hitting on you in a group.
Exactly.
Right? Or I wouldn't be going, oh my goodness, wow, there's this woman, she likes hockey, so she's going to like me. I'm going to send her a message and that's the thought process. I know what it is. And I'm not going there. Well, you know what? See, and this is, and I don't mean this is a compliment, and I get it. But
it
does
is
it matter?
from him because I know him. It's the random people that I have never interacted with before that just want to hit on me because, hey, this girl likes hockey. Now, my friends in the show, like any of them could say something like that, and I'd take it as a compliment. I know them. It's
right.
Strangers.
I get it, and I get it. But at the same point, why does it matter? Mm-hmm. Right. Why does it matter? And I've had a couple of stunning women on the show before, right? You know what I'm talking about, who I'm talking about, and I did the ladies' night and all of that. But that was I'd like to think that it was done in a tasteful manner, with a little joking in there. When I sang the song and all that, a little joke in there. But it was all about just letting the ladies take over the show, and that's what I was trying to do. Until we as a culture start accepting that we are individuals and not sexual objects, this is not going to go away. Plain and simple, on the hetero or the homo side. It's
Exactly.
not going away, and that is an absolute that needs to be discussed. And there are people out there that do not just won't don't care, don't want to discuss it. Say, don't throw it down my throat.
Hmm.
Well, you know what? It's time to throw it down your throat.
Yeah, it
It
is.
really is time to throw it down your throat, right? I'm John Hefner says, I met Buff. You know who she is. I extended a handshake first time meeting. She gave me a hug. Absolutely. Buff gave me a hug the first time we met. Right? That's absolutely. But that's understandable. There's a difference there. Right? Ashley knows I would never sexualize her, but I get your point, man. Men are pigs. Well, I didn't mean this, Josh. I know who you are, and I did not mean that pointedly at you. I just wanted to make a point because you said it out there, and I'll tell you what. The night that I had the ladies on, I'll tell you the comments that we got. I was sitting here going, I was feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially towards the Russian cat. That one got a little out
Yeah.
of hand.
Yeah, not just Russian cat. It also with Boston cat. The cat. Boston. It got out of hand on both of them, and it was really. It just. I was not happy with it, and I started saying something.
Hmm.
Right, I started saying something, and I didn't think it was right, and it wasn't right, and I'll stand by that. Right, that this wasn't the time or the place. Well, hey, Andrew. Hopefully, when you're here, I'll still be here. I don't know which island you're going to, but thanks for coming, man. That's great. I hope I get to meet you. And I love that you're on the show. And you've done a great thing. There's a line you don't cross, especially when you don't know the person. Well, there's the problem. That line is very transparent.
Hmm.
It's very transparent. I live a stone's throw from Pearl Harbor, Andrew. A stone's throw. I'm actually closer now than I was, so I'm even a closer stone's throw. So you'll be on Oahu, and that's where I am. So we hopefully can definitely meet up. That's if I'm here, because I am trying to go to St. Louis during that period, but I don't know if it's going to happen with me not working and having to have surgery. So as much as I want to be there during that, I don't know if it's going to happen unless I can get some sponsors to cover it. But that's another thing. The good thing, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because it needs to be talked about. Right? It really does need to be talked about, and it needs to be talked about not just by a guy, but by a woman also.
Yeah, it really does. And it's not even just that. The thing I take away from the Chicago situation, it isn't about gay or whatever. It's men are victims of sexual assault too, and
Yes.
they should be comfortable speaking out.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't
You know
be
what it comes down
silenced.
to? Coach Q is going to get eviscerated in this.
Oh yeah.
Right? I don't think a lot of people realize what has happened with Coach Q. He resigned, but he is suspended. He is absolutely suspended from coaching in the NHL. If you read the back half of that statement, it said, if and when Coach Quenneville decides to come back to the NHL, we will have a meeting and decide what punishment or what circumstances that will be, what penalty, if any, will be afforded. He resigned to not be kicked out permanently. I think that the NHL was going to give him a permanent ban.
Yeah.
I really do. And the point in that, when he said, yeah, okay. Yeah, Josh, you now can stop smoking whatever you're smoking, bud. When he says the Hawks are up 3-0, way to go, Hawks! You needed this one. Is he the NHL's Joe Paterno? You know what? That's a great. I think that is absolutely great. Absolutely great. He found a place with T-Rab stuff with burnt in. Oh wow, I would love those, man.
They sound
That
delicious.
sounds really good. But no, what Chris, this you're absolutely right. Right? This is the Joe Paterno thing. But and with the Joe Paterno was just one of those old guys who just, okay, I don't want to know about it. I don't see it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it burned him. Right? This for Coach Q. Now there's one thing that's come out of this that I don't like, and I have a huge issue with it. It's the Stanley Cup and the taking names off of the cup.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, and I'm going to get roasted for this, but I don't think Brad Aldridge's name should be taken off the cup. Because, and this is the reason, if you're going to take his name off the cup, you need to take the general manager, you need to take Quenneville's name, you need to take all those names that knew about it and did nothing about it off the cup too.
I think in this case, it might be better to ask John Doe what he feels, because he was the one that was hurt by it. He was the one that was upset that this guy's name was on the cup.
What was he upset that his name was on the cup?
Yeah, he was. That was in one of the articles I read, an interview with him.
Okay, well, maybe I got to go find that. If you've got that, or if you know where it is, send it to me. Oh no, you're fine, Josh. Josh, you're fine, bud. And
Josh,
I
totally
understand lighten the mood, but this is something that needs to be talked about. It is a serious topic. Oh my goodness, Wendy's in hog heaven.
Well, I'm happy for him right now because they're long overdue, even if I'm not a Blackhawk fan.
Yeah, they need that win. Yeah.
Yay, Wendy! I'm excited for you and your team.
Yep, they get that. They won't be the undefeated team with. Actually, they're not in last place, but they were pretty close to it. So now they're going to move up a little bit. Well, okay. So says, God hope it didn't happen while he was here. Also, I don't think Brad Aldridge was with the Blues.
No,
right?
he wasn't.
Yeah, Brad Aldridge, Coach Q. The reason Q got fired, and that's what he did. He got fired. Okay, he can say he resigned. The reason that he is no longer coaching in the league is Coach Q was called into a meeting when John Doe went in to the Blackhawks management and said, "Hey, this is what's happening, and I'm upset with it." Coach Q quote was something along the lines of, "I'm trying to win a cup. I don't have time for this right now." Coach Q put winning over the player.
Mm-hmm.
To him, John Doe was nothing but a practice player. He was not. Had this been a regular player, that's a good one for tomorrow.
I agree.
Brian, that's something we could probably look at tomorrow, right? Brian says rate the Central Cat. We're almost out of time, but that's something we can work on for tomorrow there, Ashley.
Yeah, I definitely would like doing that.
Yeah, I would too. And you know what? Let's do the Western Division. Rate the Central and weight the Pacific. Okay. Right? And then we won't put them together, but we'll rate them. We'll rate them kind of separately. And then maybe on Friday's show, we'll do the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Right? That's actually pretty good. I like that. Joshua Ian says bad looks for, and it is, and this is exactly why he is gone, because of that just win now mentality, and that was the only thing that was important. Mm-hmm. Right? I do not know what John Doe has gone through the past 11 years. And yes, I know who his name is.
I know.
I'm just for people that are watching. I don't want to put out who his name is. I don't think that's right. I don't think it should have been put out unless he was. I think he got forced to put it out, and that's why I'm not going to put it out. Right?
Yeah, he
even
sure
if I wrote
did,
an article about it, I wouldn't. And guys, I'm trying to get back to writing with my hand right now. As you can see, I don't have a lot of finger movement, and to try and type. And even if I use the voice to text, it messes up so many words. I got to go back and retype it, and it just hurts so bad. But I am trying to get back to writing. I really am. Well, so you know what, Wendy? Actually, I don't think he did. Right? Coach Q will be in the Hall of Fame. This is not going to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. What this is going to do is delay his Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of him getting in the Hall of Fame in the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to take 5 to 10. Or he might even go in posthumously.
Yeah, I
Right?
can see that one.
But he's not going to get in the Hall. Right? Because I guarantee you can go back and look, and there are so many players whose names are on the cup. There's so many coaches who have been into. It's just that we know about this one. That's my issue with this. Everyone who wants to revisionist history, right? It's just that we know about this one. And just because you know about it, revisionist history doesn't change anything. Taking his name off the cup doesn't change anything. Hey, Travis, how you doing? Glad to see you here. I hope, actually, we're just getting ready to wrap up. I hope I didn't get my time zones all messed up on you, bud. But great to have you here. We'll do it again tomorrow. We come on at 8. We're looking at 8. Does 8 work pretty good for you there, Ashley?
Oh yeah, 8's good.
Right? I think 8 is 3 o'clock my time, and I think that kind of works in to what helps with my workload or what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, just checking it out. Okay. Get a Let's Go Blues from John there. The French pronunciation, the Louisiana French. I just think that I think we touched on a good subject today.
Yeah.
It's not going away. And here's the thing: it shouldn't go away. It
that kind of
absolutely
leads
shouldn't
me
go away.
into something before we leave.
Okay.
Several people asked, what happens to Florida now? What do you think they're going to play like?
I think Florida was on that trajectory anyways, of being a great team. I don't think that it's whoever coaches has Coach Q's playbook and is going to use it, right? The coaching tree. In the NFL, they talk a lot about the coaching tree. You have this head coach and these guys that coached under him who became head coaches, and those became under him. So Coach Q has a pretty good coaching tree. And I think that coaching tree, it will start branching out now, right? And that's actually something in the NHL you don't see as much as a coach's tree, right? Yeah. Where in the NFL, it's absolutely out there, right? And in the Major League Baseball, not so much, but in the NHL, you see that coaching tree. In college football, oh my goodness, when John Wooden was alive and he coached, the Wooden coaching tree was amazing. So you're going to see that coaching tree. So for me, I don't see this being a distraction for the Panthers.
I don't think it'll be a long-lasting one. I think it will be for a little bit just because they're in shock. Oh my gosh, Quenneville's gone. But I think that they will recover from it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at it now. They've only lost one, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've lost one game, and that was an overtime loss. They're still undefeated. Right?
Yeah.
So this team, that team is, with Bobrovsky and they got Barkov and a few others. I can't, I'm not that great that I can just spit off names of guys on teams. I'm getting there. But but that's kind of where we're looking at. I'm calling for our Panthers for a plane crash. Okay, I read that wrong. I thought he said a plane crash. Boy, did I read that wrong, and my mouse is really looking bad. Eric, I got to change the battery and anything. I thought he meant plane, like Plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Oh my goodness, I don't really even say that. Ryan Green says my spelling sucks when I'm in a hurry. And Marianne says it could go either way. Okay, guys, we're a little bit over our hour mark. We don't mind talking a little bit longer. You guys stick around. We had good numbers today. We got near the 20 mark. I appreciate that.
Oh, wow, Wendy. That's awesome.
Kane gets a hat trick. Good thing I'm not playing Kane. Oh, you know what? Let me show this real quick before we go. Let me see if I can pull this up here real quick, Ashley. Stop that. And go here. I'm going to bring up my fantasy team, right?
Okay.
I think this will kind of be neat for guys to look at. Let me kind of put it there. We go. I love this new one that they put in there. That one there, right, where we can kind of be on the side there. I kind of like that one on the bottom. Hold on, my mouse is acting up again. Let me try this. Okay, so last week I won, but the Avalanche clearly did a little better than me. And I'm not doing good today because I only have one skater today. Kind of pull this down. Yeah, I'm losing in a lot of spots. I need Hopkins to have a good game today. Actually, I don't think that's updated. I actually think I'm losing worse than that. I haven't had anybody play yet. But let me kind of pull this in and show where I'm in my overall standings. So overall, I am 4th overall, and I'm 2nd in the Central. I'm 34, 17, and 27. The Avalanche just snuck up on me. I'm 2 games behind them. Trying to pull that up. Are you able to see this, Ash?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. There we go. So there's where I am. Got a pretty decent team. I'm trying to get rid of Kadri, but I need a defenseman, and no one wants to give me a defense because they know I just want to get rid of him because I don't like the style of player he is. So I'm going to have trouble trading him. Not only that, I just send his ass on the bench because I just don't. I don't want that guy. I mean, great. He's going to get me points, and he could help me win a game, but I just don't want that type of player on my team. You know?
I've never actually done a fantasy thing like that, so I really have no idea how it works.
Okay, well, let me kind of go back and show you something here real quick. We got a little bit. So this is actually what they call a keeper league, meaning every year you keep the same players. So the players I have stay on the team, right? So the way it works is you get a point. So you look over here on the right where it says skaters, see that?
Uh-huh.
So each of these categories you're facing off against the other team with.
Okay.
So you get a point for them, right?
Okay.
So Hopkins right now, so this is me over here, right? The Hopkins has an assist, a point, he's +1, and has a power play point. So I have an assist and a point, I have a +1, so I'm leading in that category, and I have a power play point. I'm losing in takeaways, I'm losing in shots blocked, I'm losing in hits, I'm losing in shots and goal, though that could change. I mean, you can see here, he's got Zach Sanford, Vince Dunn, Ryan McDonough, Trevor Van. Those are the players that he's playing today, right? If we go to my team, we'll see who's on my team right now. So I have Dustin Brown, Robbie Fabry, James Neal, Ryan Nugent Hopkins. I picked Neal up because O'Reilly went down. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Robert Thomas, Ben Chariot, Ryan Graves, Colin Miller. In reserves, I have Kadri, Marcia Shaw, Mata, and Muzzin. And Mata's like doing me nothing. He's not playing enough. He's like a 7th defenseman. I have Niederreiter, O'Reilly, Sundqvist, and Gardner in IR. O'Reilly and Sundqvist will come out. I have when they come out, I have to drop somebody. My problem is I don't have any defensemen. Gonna have to drop a forward because I don't have enough defensemen. These are my minor league guys that are in the minors since this is a keeper league. And then for the goalies, I have Bennington, Elliott, and Jones, and then 3 reserve goalies, or minors goalies. So Wedgwood is probably going to have to come up sooner or later because of the way he's playing. I know he's minors eligible, but he's playing well enough, and he's playing enough games that he may end up no longer being a minors goalie. So that's something I'm going to have to look at. So that's and the goalies, you can see that what they score. Right now with the goalies, you have to have 2 starts per week, otherwise you don't count. So in goalies, so this is kind of where I got hurt last week when Bennington got his penalty minutes. I got a loss here, but he got a shutout. So this is why I needed the shutout because I got that point for the shutout. So it basically gave me a win here when I had a loss here.
Okay.
So it evened it out, you know. But he ended up doing well enough that I ended up winning a couple of goalies. So I ended up winning last week 11-10, I think it was. But see, the Avalanche are losing right now, so he's not got a lot of players. He's 1-5-10. So lot of those categories. So it's fun. It's a keeper league. Cost me like $50, I think, and you get, if you win, you get it at the end. Hefner says my team sucked. Kane has passed Savard for third all time in points for the Hawks. I'll tell you what, I still stand behind this, and I said this before. It is absolutely time for the Blackhawks to trade Kane. They need to go to him and ask him if they can trade him to a contender, to give him to give him a list of teams that he would go to. Right? Because you're not doing Kane any favors having Kane on that team right now. I think you're hurting Kane's Hall of Fame credentials by having him there. I think letting him go, getting picks for him, and setting yourself up later is what you need to do. And I know Wendy's going to hate me for that. But I really think that now is the time. They should trade both Canes and Tays, and especially now that they're both tainted. Right? That's kind of how I feel about it.
See, because they're tainted, I wouldn't want them to be traded because I wouldn't want to give them the opportunity.
Yeah, I get that too, but bold take guy. It's what I feel. I said, and Wendy, I said this when we had the interview with Jamal Mayers. Right? I talked about that with Jamal Mayers. Remember? And I really felt that way. Oh, this hour and 15 minutes. Does it feel like it's that long?
No, it was a really fun show.
Yeah, this one's been fun today, actually. Hopefully, we're going to try and go Monday through Saturday. We'll do Sundays has need be, right? If there's games. If we do a Sunday, we might miss a Saturday or miss a Monday, kind of give a break. And he says, and I said it was cold then. Oh, I mean, I get that. Still not a late start at Hawaiian League, but I don't know how. Some Yahoo League. Oh, to do a Hawaiian Blue. I know you wanted to do that, John. I just don't have the time, energy, or the effort to put into that with everything I've got going on right now. I know you would. I think if you guys did a salary cap league, and basically what a salary cap league is, every team gets a certain salary, right? And each player has a salary attached to them. And you pick your players, and it's weekly, and you get points. The points that player gets for goals, assists, or whatever, you earn those points, and you compete against everybody else. Now, that being saying, somebody could have the same player as you in a salary cap league, right? But if you go and you just pick, like guys like Connor McDavid, they eat so much of your salary cap that you got to have. You really, in a salary cap league, you have to find guys in that middle range, right? You need to find those $4 to $5 million guys that are going to get you the points to win those leagues. Yeah. Right. And with the goalies and that. So that's something, if you wanted to run something like that, I think a salary cap league, I think you could find the 10 to 12 people. And remember, with a salary cap league, you don't have to cap it. Right. And John, if you did want to do something like a salary cap league like that, go on Yahoo and figure it out. And I think I could put it on the website. Right. So there it goes. Well, the draw, see, that's the thing. That's why I don't want to do it so much. First of all, I just don't have the time to put into it. I got to be honest. Ashley, you kind of know what I do on a daily basis, and you know what it takes to do this show. Right? It's not like I get behind the mic and I start talking. I watch the NHL Network. I'm reading stuff that I should probably spend 3 to 4 hours a day preparing for each show, minimum. Right? And there's a lot going on that we need to talk about. So I try and get at that. And I don't want, and I know this show is also open up to the fans, and we kind of let them run it, but we got to know what they're talking about. We got to be able to talk about those things. Maybe on Fridays we'll do Fan Fridays, right?
That would be fun.
We'll do Fan Fridays. No time you get stuck with what we get. Well, I just think that you should do a salary cap league, John. I think in a salary cap league that would be that you would get I think you would get people that would enjoy doing a salary cap league, right? I've done salary cap leagues in baseball before. The good thing about a salary cap league is you get your cap. Let's say you pick you have a player that's capped at $5 million, right?
Mhm.
And the player has a less than average week. Well, he drops to 4.6 million. You can lock him in at that 4.6 million now and save that 0.4 mil to bring somebody else in. Now, on the reverse of that, if their cap goes up, you don't take the hit for it. It's what you lock them in at.
Mhm.
So you can actually overcap. You can overcap, and if you do it right. But it takes a lot to do it right to overcap. And I really think, John, you should look into a salary cap league on Yahoo. I think you would find you could get and maybe put a thing in and see if you can get guys on the group that want to do that. But I really think it would be fun. Well, Ashley, any last thoughts as we get ready to send this away?
Nope, I think we covered everything, and I look forward to tomorrow when we discuss the captains of the West.
Yep, captains of the West. And now, it wasn't perfect, but what did you think of the new theme song? Oh, come on. It
Needs
wasn't
a
that
little
bad.
bit of work.
Yeah.
A lot of bit of work. Like I literally took off the
Well,
yeah.
that's just because it was too loud in your ear. It wasn't that bad. It was not that bad, right? I just got to work on the words. I think if I can get the words right.
If you can get the words right, then yeah. But otherwise, it was a little.
Right.
It needs a lot of work, but
Yeah. Well, see, the only way that I can do it so you can hear it is I've got to put it in the thing, or I've got to actually go and record it separately and then do it as a separate recording. So, and I just don't know if I got the time with that one. So, who
Keep
knows?
practicing.
Maybe I'll find it. Say again.
Keep practicing.
Keep practicing. Well, that's what we'll keep doing. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for Ashley Slapshot Jones, saying aloha, mahalo, and I got now there's a discussion. The captains of the West is in. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to rate them
Tomorrow.
We're going to rate the Central. We're going to rate the West, the Pacific. We'll kind of go through there and rate them. Now, the one thing that your guys aren't going to like is, believe it or not, O'Reilly, I'm not going to rank as high, especially now that he's on COVID, right? That does take away from it because he's not being a captain right now. So there's a lot to put into who each team's captains are and go from there. So, hey guys, this is Guy the Hawaii Blues fan and Ashley Slapshot Jones saying aloha, mahalo, and we cannot wait to see you on the next Blue Note Fan Report, or, as you heard it, the Hockey Fan Report. Tune in, check us out, and don't forget to share the program. This is Guy the Hawaii Blues fan. Aloha, mahalo, and I can't wait to see you on the next Hockey Fan Report.